Imagine the Golden State Warriors, future hanging in the balance like a whispered secret echoing through the hollow halls of Oracle Arena. Not just in silence, but in suspense attention so thick it feels like it's breathing with us. Now, imagine that whisper morphing, expanding, growing louder with every leaked report, every vague GM comment, until it becomes a roar of seismic shift so staggering it could reshape the entire trajectory of Dub Nation, redefining everything we thought we knew since the birth of the Splash Brothers themselves. Welcome back to Warriors News Fan Report, where raw truth smash into Splash-era nostalgia. And where we don't just break news, we break it down like fans in the trenches, riding every high, surviving every heartbreak. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you bleed blue and gold, and hit that bell so your pulse never skips a beat, because this one is massive. We're diving deep into the slow-burning, nerve-shredding, all-season saga that is the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade rumor, a storyline that's teetering between fantasy and inevitability, and that could, if it unfolds, carve out a new dynasty before our very eyes. Let's set the table. This summer's been eerily quiet for Golden State. Too quiet. No splashy trade. No major free agent surprise. And for a team that's always danced along the edge of innovation and chaos, that calm is suspicious. Because beneath that silence, there's a storm. A calculated, patient, nerve-wracking storm brewing in the hearts and minds of the Warriors brass. You can feel it. Bob Myers may be gone, but this front office hasn't gone numb. They're watching, waiting, listening. Not to social media buzz, not to fan fantasy, but to the whispers inside Giannis's camp, to the faint cracks forming in Milwaukee's seemingly indestructible foundation. Here's the thing. This isn't just a trade rumor. It's the trade rumor. The kind of league-altering possibility that instantly reshapes power dynamics. And we're not just talking about adding a superstar. We're talking about injecting raw, physical dominance into a team already laced with generational shooting. Imagine Giannis in blue and gold, a tidal wave in transition, a battering ram on defense, and the perfect complement to Steph Curry's perimeter wizardry. Add Draymond's IQ, Klay's shooting gravity, and Kerr's system to that mix, and you're not building a contender, you're building a nightmare. A team that doesn't just win games, it breaks opponents' spirits. But let's zoom in. Because this whole story, this tantalizing fever dream, hinges on one incredibly fragile, maddeningly unpredictable variable: Giannis's willingness to walk away from Milwaukee. And that, more than trade packages or CBA rules, is where the real suspense lives. Ramona Shelburne's recent comments on NBA Today might have sounded neutral, but if you know how to read between the lines, they were loaded. There's no resolution coming until August or September. No clarity. No commitment. Just waiting. And that's where Golden State finds itself. Not in action, but in anticipation. Every day that passes without news is a day of quiet panic for front offices across the league, but especially for those in San Francisco. Why? Because this is a high-stakes poker game. The Warriors are sitting at the table, chips stacked, mask on, trying not to blink. But across from them is the unknown. Does Giannis even want to leave Milwaukee? Does he want the Bay's media spotlight, the pressure, the scrutiny? Or does he want to stay in familiar territory where he's already king? Meanwhile, the Warriors must make decisions. Do they burn their best trade assets, Kuminga, Moody, Future First, on a move they're not sure will happen? Or do they wait and risk having nothing when the music stops? Here's what makes it brutal. Stephen Curry doesn't have forever. He's still transcendent. He still bends gravity. But we're not in 2016 anymore. We're not even in 2022. And these Warriors? They're in that dangerous middle ground between aging legends and unproven youth. Every decision has double consequences. Move too slow, the window shuts. Move too fast, you got the roster and burn future bridges. And that's why this Giannis rumor is more than just a possibility. It's a pivot point. If it goes one way, The Warriors are reborn. If it goes the other, we might be watching the end of an era unfold in real time. Imagine the locker room. You've got Draymond holding court, reminding the young guys about 2015 and 2017 and how it felt to be hated and feared. You got Clay hitting shots in practice, quieter but still burning. And in the corner, Steph's still the nucleus, still the heartbeat, wondering how many more title runs are really left in him. Now picture Giannis walking into that space, bringing a different kind of energy. Not smooth, not subtle, but forceful. This isn't KD 2.0, this is a juggernaut colliding with an orchestra. And the question becomes, can Kerr conduct it all into something harmonious, or will it be chaos? And don't ignore the ripple effects. If Giannis lands in Golden State, every team in the West hits panic mode. Denver's balance? Shaken. Phoenix's top-heavy roster? Exposed. The Lakers' window? Cracked. And the Warriors? They go from maybe if everything clicks to who can even stop this. But again, it all comes back to timing. This isn't a move you make lightly. It requires everything. Financial gymnastics, cultural realignment, strategic overhaul. And that's why the front office is moving like a chess master, thinking 10 moves ahead, waiting for one sign, one leak, one moment to act. But what if that moment never comes? What if Giannis doubles down in Milwaukee, signs an extension, reaffirms loyalty, and this whole saga turns to dust? Then what? The Warriors, having waited, now watch other opportunities pass them by. Potential trades for role players, undervalued assets gone. And suddenly, the summer of patience becomes the autumn of regret. Kuminga's frustrated. Moody's unsure. Wiggins is still floating between stardom and shadow. And Steph? Steph's another year older, another playoff war worn into his body. That's the razor's edge. This decision, this rumor, it's not harmless. It's defining. And here's where the fan base comes in. We feel this. We've been through it all. The We Believe run. The 73-win heartbreak. The Durant years. The injury hellscape of 2020. The redemption of 2022. And through it all, we've kept the faith. But this moment, this feels different. It feels like standing on a cliff, watching the tide rise, knowing that whatever comes next will reshape the shoreline. Forever dot, so I ask you, is Giannis worth it? Is the gamble worth the ghost of what could have been? Are we ready to watch beloved young pieces leave if it means one more ring? Or is the soul of Dub Nation better preserved by staying the course, trusting in what we built and refusing? To play a game of maybes? My pulse says yes. My brain screams maybe. My heart? It's somewhere in the rafters of Chase Center, staring at those banners and wondering, could there be one more? Let's ride this storm together, Warriors fans. Because whatever happens next, it won't be quiet. It'll be legacy-level. Drop your wildest takes, your rawest fears, your deepest hope in the comments. I'll be right there, heart in hand, ready to dissect every twist with you. Every war bomb, every fake leak, every real sign that something massive is coming. Because when it comes to Golden State, we don't whisper, we roar. If your heart just skipped a beat thinking about Steph dragging that team through another insane playoff firestorm with Giannis rolling downhill beside him, you better slam that comment section open right now, because Dub Nation is on the cusp of a chapter that feels part epic saga, part high-wire thriller, and all the tension is squeezing tighter by the day. Here's the raw deal. The idea of the Golden State Warriors wrangling Giannis isn't just a good story for the highlight reels. It's a seismic shove that threatens to scramble everything we think we know about this team, from their tried and true identity to the locker room chemistry that has been both their rocket fuel and their kryptonite. Think about it, this once explosive Warriors lineup, built on Steph's gravity-defying threes, Clay's ice-water nerves, and Draymond's defensive ferocity, is already at a rare crossroads. Last season, Curry lit it up with a career-best 32.0 points per game. But the reels noticeably wobbled as the supporting cast shuffled through injuries, youth-growing pains, and moments of hesitation. Andrew Wiggins flashed flashes of brilliance, but also inconsistency, clashing between his lockdown defense and on-off offensive splits. Meanwhile, Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga are blossoming talents, still trying to find their roles in Kerr's system, which demands a very specific brand of selfless sharing and rocket-quick basketball IQ. Now throw Giannis into the equation. He is a 7-footer with the agility of a point guard and the power of a freight train, capable of dominating inside and rolling defenders like paper dolls. But here's the skein of doubt. What if this Greek freak's imposing, aggressive style clashes with the fluid space-and-shoot system that has been the Warriors' bread and butter? Kerr's coaching genius has always been about balance and rhythm of dance, not a bulldozer. Can these pieces gel, or will this seismic trade fracture the core's chemistry, turning Warriors' locker room vibes toxic just when they're supposed to be peaking? And what about the younger guys? Kuminga's athleticism and Moody's sharpshooting need room to breathe, and that means minutes and touches. Will Giannis' appetite for the ball suffocate their growth, or is this his ticket to sharing the spotlight differently, growing with them instead of over them? The West is a colossal pressure cooker right now. The Suns lurking like a desert storm. The Nuggets are steady thunder under Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. Even the Lakers, defiant, with LeBron still grinding and the Mavericks with Luka's sly wizardry. To land Giannis here doesn't just mean hitting the jackpot. It means recalibrating all your championship chess moves in a domino effect of unpredictability. The Warriors have been here before in spirit, to be exact. They've tasted this exact kind of nervous energy when Kevin Durant showed up, transforming our underdog splash into a juggernaut. Remember how the KD-era Dynamos felt? At times nearly unstoppable, yet beneath that dominance was a fragile bubble of expectation and fleeting loyalty. Are we about to peer into that same mirror again? Or better yet, could Giannis represent something newer, a fresh style that fits with the modern NBA's evolution towards size, speed, and extreme versatility? Stephen Curry's leap from a prolific shooter to an all-around offensive wizard suggests this theme bends, morphs, and evolves before our eyes. Draymond Green is still the cerebral heart of the defense, and his vocal presence will be essential managing egos and unity. Can he ride herd on the storm of ego that a superstar like Giannis inevitably carries? The emotional fatigue runs deep. Through Dub Nation, we've been battered by hope's dash and moments stolen, from heartbreaking finals losses to the bittersweet glory of Klay's epic comeback games that reminded us all what perseverance truly means. But this tension, that suffocating waiting game, feels different. It's not just roster moves or cap space wrestling. It's the fragile narrative of legacy as Curry inches closer toward the sunset of his prime, already flirting with the big what next. The pressure on Steve Kerr isn't just play calling. It's era-defining leadership where every decision feels like a crossroads between extending dynasty life or watching the embers die out. Front office whispers ripple through the Bay Area. Grapevine, some say the GMs are hoarding assets. Others that they're scanning the globe for hidden diamonds, while the clock's relentless march waits for Giannis's heart to speak. But what if that heart never beats for Golden State? What if this high-stakes poker game crashes before it even hits the river? Dub Nation's patience has limits in a league of ruthless competitors who feast on hesitation. Waiting might cost the Warriors yet another era of promise wasted. Yet, and this is the crux, what if this silence, this tension, is the car right before a historic storm? A reinvention not just of a team, but of a basketball culture? From the gritty we believe years, where hope thrived on chaos, to the polished KD-era blaze slicing through defenses, the Warriors have shown both resilience and brilliance in their many forms. This moment now feels like the whole story condensed into one breathless instant, one bold, risky leap that could either ignite a final championship charge or unravel the threads of a franchise masterpiece painstakingly woven over decades. Let me end this not just as your analyst, but as one of millions who have screamed for Baron Davis's fearless drives, cried for Clay's pain, and still believe that Steph with that fire burning in his eyes has at least one more miracle left up his sleeve. Because this isn't just basketball. It's our collective heartbeat, our shared dream, and the defining saga of Dub Nation's soul. Now it's your turn. Drop your wildest, rawest feelings in the comments below. Don't hold back. I'll be right there with you. Every fiery, hopeful, gut-wrenching take matters in this fight for the future of the Golden State Warriors.